So if you've spent any time at all scrolling online lately, you have definitely seen them. These absolutely mind-blowing demos of AI agents doing just incredible things, right? And they promise this future that feels like it's just around the corner.
You know the ones I'm talking about. The headlines that say, "This AI agent works fully autonomously," or "We replaced a human with this," or my favorite, "Watch this AI complete a complex task all by itself." And look, it's exciting stuff. It really makes you feel like we're right on the edge of a huge revolution. But what if most of what you're seeing isn't, well, the whole story?
Here's the kind of uncomfortable truth. Most of the agentic AI demos you see online are, to put it simply, structurally misleading. Now, that doesn't mean they're malicious, not always, but they are hiding the reality of how these systems actually work. And today, we're going to give you the tools to see right through that illusion.
Okay, but before we can start spotting the fakes, we need to get on the same page. We need a baseline for what's actually real, you know? What does it truly mean for an AI system to be agentic or autonomous? Let's build that foundation right now.
A true agentic system is one that can make its own decisions, remember where it is in a process, understand its ultimate goal, and, this part is absolutely critical, it has to be able to handle failure, all without a human holding its hand every step of the way. See, it's not just following a script, it's actually navigating a task.
So let's just break that down into 4 key properties you see here. Autonomy, having a state, goal awareness, and that all-important failure handling. Now here's the really interesting part. Most of the demos you see online fail on at least 2 of these 4 points, and sometimes, honestly, all of them. So keep these 4 in your head as we move on.
All right, now for the main event. Let's build our field guide for spotting the illusion. We are going to walk through the biggest red flags that tell you that you are not seeing the full picture. And I promise, once you see them, you are not going to be able to unsee them.
First up, the absolute classic red flag, the perfect prompt. You have definitely seen this. It looks like some kind of superhuman intelligence, but it's really often just a clever trick, something we can call prompt puppetry.
So here's how it works. On the surface, what you see is a creator typing in this super long, incredibly detailed prompt, and then bam, the AI executes it perfectly. But what's really happening? The real intelligence isn't in the agent at all. It's in the human who probably spent hours crafting that perfect set of instructions. The agent isn't deciding a thing, it's just following a very, very good script.
So the rule here is crucial. If the demo completely falls apart without that one single perfect prompt, you are not looking at an autonomous agent. You're just looking at a scripted workflow. And that is a huge, huge difference.
Now, this brings us to what might be the single most important red flag of all, the complete and total absence of any failure.
Right, so in the demo, what you see is this perfectly smooth execution. There are no error messages, no moments of confusion, no retries. It's just this clean, straight line from start to finish. But the reality? Oh, the reality is that real agents fail all the time. APIs time out, websites suddenly change their layout, data comes back in a weird format. Building a real agent isn't about achieving perfection, it's about building a system that can recover from constant, inevitable imperfection.
And this leads us to a really powerful rule of thumb. No failure equals no autonomy. Think about it. The ability to handle unexpected problems is the very definition of autonomous behavior. If you don't see the agent struggle a little bit and then recover, you're not seeing it act autonomously, period.
Okay, on to our third red flag, which, trust me, you're going to see everywhere once you know to look for it. The demo is labeled autonomous, but there's a human clicking all the important buttons.
So what they show you is an AI supposedly making its own way through a task. But if you watch really closely, the human operator is confirming every single key step. They're selecting which tool to use next, and they're deciding when the task is actually done. In this scenario, the AI isn't the agent, the human is. The human is the planner, and the AI is just a tool, an executor. This is just good old-fashioned automation with a human in the loop, not some self-directed agent. So our rule here is simple, it's direct. If the human is making the critical decisions along the way, the system is not autonomous. I mean, it might be helpful, it might be super efficient, but it's not an agent in the true sense of the word. So you might be sitting there asking, okay, why? Why are so many demos presented this way? And it's really important to understand the motives because it's usually not about trying to deceive people just for the sake of it. The reality is that a lot of creators are just optimizing for the platform, you know? They need to grab your attention in seconds, so they optimize for clicks. They have to compress hours of trial and error into a 60-second clip. And yeah, they hide the inherent instability of these systems to make them look way more impressive than they are. The unfortunate side effect of all this is that it sets completely unrealistic expectations, and it hurts our collective understanding of where this technology truly is today. Okay, so we have successfully torn down the fakes. Now, let's build back up. How can we see beyond all the hype and actually recognize what real, genuine progress in AI agents actually looks like?
Well, ironically, a trustworthy demo is almost always an imperfect one. You actually want to see the agent make a wrong turn and then correct its course. You want to see it recover from some technical failure. A really great demo will even have the agent explain why it made a certain choice. And most importantly, the person making the video will be totally upfront about the system's limitations. Messiness, it turns out, is a sign of honesty.
And this really brings us to the core of it all. Agentic AI is absolutely real. The progress being made is stunning. But, and this is a big but, it is also fragile. It's expensive to run, and it is incredibly hard to build reliably. If a demo hides that messy reality from you, it's not actually teaching you anything.
So the goal for us shouldn't be to find the flashiest, most perfect-looking demo. The real goal is to chase understanding. It's about appreciating the complexity and recognizing the clever ways that developers are solving for the chaos of the real world, not just pretending that chaos doesn't exist. Because, in the end, that's what we're all looking for, isn't it? Real intelligence, whether it's human or artificial, isn't about being perfect and flashy all the time. It's about having the resilience to survive failure. And honestly, that's a much more exciting story to follow.